in roof mega metals in the jurisdiction of Tennessee. For a breakdown of this case, you can just listen to me, you don't have to read the slide. A man had been dating a woman and he hired her 16-year-old son to work for his company, Royalty Builders. A company known as Ace Tractor got an estimate from a different company named Mega Metals Roof Supply Incorporated because they wished to have a removal of their now roof and then get an installation of a new one. And they agreed with the pricing and then immediately wanted to sign the contract with Mega Metals to hurry up and get the job done. So, being that Mega Metals was actually, they contracted other companies to handle installations of roofs. So they hired Royalty Builders, who was the sole proprietorship. They hired them as an agent to install the roof of the Ace Tractor Company. And so this job started, and while working on the job, there were 7 workers there, including this 16-year-old, but they were not wearing any safety equipment or anything to protect them from falling. And an incident occurred when the 16-year-old boy actually fell 25 feet and landed on the concrete floor, and it caused him serious injuries. The 16-year-old decided to sue all 3 of the companies. He had to do it through his parents, but he decided to sue them on terms that Mega Metals and Ace Tractor Company should have required Royalty to use trained and licensed workers and to also require using safety equipment. Mason argues that Mega Metals and Ace are both liable because Royalty was working on their behalf. So the issue asked is Mega Metals liable for Royalty's failures? Was Royalty an agent of Mega Metals? I found that Mega Metals hired Royal Builders as an independent contractor. An independent contractor is an individual hired by another to perform some specific task or function, but not in a representative capacity. The employer, Mega Metals, does not control how the independent contractor achieves those results, in which the employer retains no right of control over the independent contractor. So, here is an image of how an independent contractor can work. He can work with his cat. He can work at his home in his pajamas. Nobody's standing over him like a employee would have her boss standing over and watching her to dress specifically. But you may need someone telling you how to do it if you don't know to wear safety equipment, in my opinion. The answer to this question, I say no. Mega Metals cannot be held liable if the employer has no control of how an independent contractor, which is Royalty Builders, they have no control of how they achieve those results. The second issue is Ace liable for Royalty's failures? Was Royalty an agent of Ace? So, is Ace hired Mega Metals as a special agent who acted on behalf of Ace and hired the Royalty Builders to install the roof? Specialty builders are authorized to do one or more specific acts in accordance with instructions from the principal. Ace Tractor Company is the principal who acts through Mega Metals. This binds Royalty to Ace Tractor Company, who is the principal. The principal is the party for whom the agent acts and from whom the agent derives authority to act. So, an employer is subject to liability for the torts of his or her employees, but only if those acts are committed while acting in the scope of their employment. So, because they signed this contract so quickly, they did not see that there was actually something in the contract that states that Mega Metals hires other companies. Therefore, Tractor Company is the principal of this company that was hired. And I found that in Tennessee, the doctrine of the respondent superior permits the master, which is the principal, to be held liable for the negligent actions of their servant or agent. And then, therefore, they're responsible for that. I also found that a principal can be held liable for the harm caused by the directed or knowingly authorized acts of an agent, even if that agent would otherwise be considered an independent contractor in the absence of any such direction or authorization. So, in the statement, it says that the owner of the tractor company came around and noticed how young the boy was and looked up and waved at him and told him to carry on, like to keep working. So he was told to do that. And even if you were an independent contractor, you would still be in charge of that. You would be held liable. Years ago, our Supreme Court concluded that, as a practical matter, every contract for work to be done reserves the principal or employer a certain degree of control, because some degree of control is necessary to assure that the work is performed according to their expectations or specifications. So, that again proves that I believe that Ace Tractors Company is liable. Through my discovery and research, I believe that to be so. They are liable for royalties failures.